Welcome to the Swank Golf Podcast, the podcast for new golfers, old golfers, and everybody in between. I'm your host, Nadir, and on this podcast, we'll be discussing my journey and others by interviewing golfers of all skill sets that I know and that I meet along the way. As barriers in golf continue to be broken down in the efforts to quote-unquote grow the game, this platform is a place for just that, talking shop no matter your background and growth. So let's jump in. All right, welcome to another episode of the Swank Golf Podcast. I got a special guest here, longtime friend, sales professional, ex-college basketball player, and avid golfer, Tramaine Johnson. Welcome to the show.
My man, appreciate the invite.
Yeah, man. So, let's just jump into it. I mean, you know, the purpose of this show is really just to document the journey, not just my golf journey, others' golf journey. So let me know, like, how's your game right now? What's going on?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I had goals coming into the summer. I haven't hit any of them, but it's about the journey, right? Mm-hmm. So having a reason to go out there, play every day, having goals. I feel like that's the most important thing in golf, but also you gotta have realistic goals, right? So I feel like keeping that perspective and just always feel like you're doing good because you're out there playing. So
yeah, it's definitely just a joy to be out there for real. Like that's one thing that I try to focus on, especially if the game is not going well. I try to just take a second, like, all right, look, I'm out here doing what I like to do, enjoying the camaraderie with my fellas, you know. So how'd you get introduced to the game?
So it's funny. I mean, we grew up as athletes, right? And we just watch Sports Center, watching random sports, and you just feel like you can do everything you see on TV. So I want to say some of my earliest golf memories will probably be just always feeling like I could do that. Right. You feel me?
Right.
And then like my father, you know, my dad, he had just a random putter and he had like a green cup and he would putt in the crib. He would putt while he's doing like business calls and things of that nature. So I would do that as well.
Right.
And then I always enjoyed miniature golf. Mm-hmm. So this is like very early on. I'm talking like early teen years. But I want to say I was at the driving range in maybe 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay.
The
COVID wave.
Yeah. It wasn't my first time at Top Golf, but I'm just like, I'm hitting it, of course. The hand-eye coordination has always been there, but it wouldn't go straight. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I got to figure out how to go straight.
Right.
That's what I originally got the itch is definitely at Top Golf.
Yeah. So what would you say keeps you coming back? Like, you know, what keeps you at the range, at the course? What keeps you coming back?
That's a good question. That's something I actually ask myself, especially when I'm out there breaking clubs and acting like a maniac.
Right. How often do you play? I'm
definitely playing about 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay, so you come back often.
I'm out there every day, and that's another reason why I got to tell myself to relax, because it's like, bro, all you're gonna do is work yourself up and then be back out. It's like an abusive relationship.
Right.
But what I would say, what keeps coming back is definitely the challenge. And I want to be good. Like I want to be good.
Right.
I'm actually the worst of my friends, which I prefer.
Right.
Because it gives me like something to chase.
A carrot.
And I want to be able to compete with them. So, and again, that's another life lesson with golf. Like I'd rather be around people that's better than me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bill and myself, we was just talking about when we played with our friend Church, who we all know.
Right.
Automatically, without even trying, I feel like I play better. You know what I mean? So stuff like that keeps me coming back.
You say that you're not you're one of the worst out of all your friends, but you have something that most golfers don't have, which is a hole-in-one, right? You have one of those. I've only met a few people that have them. Granted, I'm new to the game myself, but can you kind of like walk us through that, like how that happened? You know, what club you were using, where. Just paint the scene for us.
So you know what's funny, and I guess you can kind of hear it in my voice now when I talk about how I just knew I'd be good at golf until I got out here. I do have what you would call irrational confidence, right? So we all know what a hole-in-one is,
right?
And I just always knew I would hit one. Okay. Like never doubted it, never thought I wouldn't. But my biggest fear was hitting it and nobody's there. you know what I mean? So just to walk you through that day, I was out. It was me, my homegirl Mickey, and it was her first time actually playing 18. Mm-hmm. So we get to the course. Shout out to JC Melrose. They showed me a lot of love up there. We get to the course, and there was 2 other girls, and we were paired with somebody else. But I'm like, nah, Mickey, I'm gonna pair us with them so that you can feel comfortable. Because I'm pretty sure. I mean, I hate to stereotype or hate to judge, but we're on the same page here. You know what I mean? So she would feel more comfortable playing. So anyway, long story short, we all having fun, no pressure. We just all having a good time. So it's myself and 3 other girls. We get to hole 8. So hole 8 at JC Melrose, if anybody who knows, it's a long par 3. That day it was 206 yards, and it's a tough hole. It's a tough hole. If you don't hit the green, if you go anywhere to the right, you're in trouble.
Right.
So without getting too much into the details, at that point in time, this is just back in May. For 200 yards, I brought out the 3-wood.
Okay.
And that's another thing about golf, because it's funny how much my game has changed even since then.
Okay.
But back then, I just wanted to get down there, give myself a chance, even if it was short. So with the 3-wood, was it Tramaine, M4? Just like almost like a little bunt. Like wasn't a whole swing, wasn't even a half swing or a quarter swing. Just a little bunt to get me down there. And naturally at the time I had like a nice little slice on there. So right to left. And when I seen it hit the green, I was just happy to be on the green.
Right.
I seen it hit the green, I seen it rolling. And I continued to have a conversation because one of the girls who asked me, well, what club are you using? So I started talking about the club. I started talking about the hole and saying like, it's a tough hole.
Yeah.
And I hit first. So I jumped in the cart. Of course, it was during the work day. So I'm doing my thing on the email, on the text. And I'm waiting for the ladies to hit their balls and, it's taking them 2-3 shots to get down there. So I'm still on the cart because they're pretty much walking the course, walking that hole because they keep hitting it and walking, hitting it and walking.
Right.
So I'm the last out of the cart because I was already on the green. And then I hear, who's sitting at Callaway? And in my mind, I ain't want to show, but I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking one of them done hit my ball by mistake.
Okay.
But she was like, nah, it's in the hole. I was like, whoa, huh? And that's when I ran back to the car, grabbed my phone. So the only footage I actually have is me running to the hole with my phone in my hand. And sure enough, it was a Callaway number 4 in there, which is also my college basketball number. So I'm like, that's crazy. And it was a throwaway ball for that hole. I used a throwaway ball for that hole because I'm like, I ain't about to lose a brand new ball.
That's funny. I actually was thinking about that today. I was wondering what type of ball you were using, if it was new or you found it in the woods. That's real cool, man, because like I said, it's incredible, and congratulations, and I hope I can get one day. I'm
pretty sure you will.
I'm sure I will. You touched on your jersey number, that the ball was the same as your jersey number.
Yeah.
How do you think that being a college athlete translates to being a golfer now?
I think mentally it translates, right?
Right.
Just even when I got into the game of golf, like I said, I started at Top Golf. I didn't just go out and play 18, right? So I think being a college basketball player and growing up, taking the sport serious, I know about fundamentals. So the first thing I did was, once I got my clubs, is I started going to the range, right? I didn't want to just go play 18 and see what the hell happened. I want to go out, when I play my 18, I would at least have something to build off of. So the first thing I did was I got my clubs, I started going to the range and started like literally watching videos at the range of like fundamentals.
Okay.
So I would say, if anything, mentally, it's just about discipline, fundamentals. Now, physically, I don't think really much translates from basketball to golf. I think if you play a rotary sport, maybe it'd translate. Maybe if you were a bowler, maybe if you were a baseball player, of course.
Right.
I feel like you could take some of those traits over, but physically nothing. But definitely mentally.
How often do you practice? I mean, you're playing 5 times a week. How often do you go to the range, or how often do you practice?
I try to at least make it one time. Like I'm doing something with golf every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, I should go to the range more, because when you keep playing, I feel like you start to get lazy. It's a little bit of mental fatigue there. But on a beautiful ass day, it's kind of hard to go practice.
Yeah.
when I know I can go play.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And again, shout out to the guys at Melrose. I met a guy named Billy, who actually the GM, and he seen me out there in the winter. He seen me out there in the fall, and he walked up to me. He was like, "Listen, man, anytime you here, you good."
Right.
You feel me? So they let me play for free. They let me bring the homies. Sometimes I played 9, 18. We played 36. You know what I mean? Last week, me and Bob out there got 27 in. And that's helped my game tremendously as well. Because listen, I'm not going to front. Golf is expensive. You know what I mean? So it's really a blessing to have somewhere I can go develop my game. And it's also a blessing to have a course 5 minutes from my crib.
Right.
I got a course in a range 5 minutes from my crib, so that's helped me as well.
One thing that I talked about in the first episode was the barriers that are, in place in golf. Some of them being financial, and some of them just being, proximity. So yeah, you're right. Having that access is definitely key. Let me ask you this. Someone that's looking to get into golf, or they're a little, they want to dip their toe in. What's some advice that you would give someone who hasn't even started yet?
So again, the first thing I would tell somebody who haven't even started yet, don't even worry about the golf part, right? Because you need a reason to be out there every day. So, and what I tell people who is like, golf can actually be the 4th or 5th thing on the list, right? It's a beautiful day. Yeah. We outside, we getting sun. We're not at work. we eating, we drinking, we chilling with your friends. So that alone should make you want to come to the golf course.
Yeah.
and then we can get into the golf part.
Right.
But if you want to actually get into the golf part, the first thing I'm gonna tell you to do is get some clubs. And again, I'm not gonna sit and act like golf is a free sport, but there are some ways that you can kind of like get around the cost. So I send people to Facebook Marketplace. That's the first thing I tell them. Now I got a cool deal. I got in before the bubble, right? So I got my first set of clubs. And I mean, again, I probably appreciate this more now than I did at the time. But I went to Craigslist. I got a whole set for $40. I'm talking about putter, wedge, irons, driver, in a bag.
Right.
You ain't got a chance nowadays to get that for $40.
Yeah. You're looking at $300 and to get
God.
in for something like that. Just the entry point. What's something you learned about your game? Like as you go, like what's something that you learned about your game and yourself?
I think see my game really changes. Like the game is really fluid. But I think I learn something about myself every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I do think. I think I'm a little off. Mm-hmm. I definitely think mentally I might not be as sane as others.
Okay.
I definitely do think, and I've always thought I've had like an addictive personality.
Yeah.
Like anything I want to do, either I go crazy or I don't do it at all. So I think through golf I'm learning that's still a fact. But most of all, I think I just love a challenge. I love to win.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Competition is it. And, you know, I've played with you. I've known you. We've known each other, since we were like 14, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm. 12
years old. You're the most competitive person I've ever met. So, you know, I already knew that golf and you would just click.
And one cool thing, not to cut you off, is you could be competitive against yourself.
Yeah,
I'm out there a lot of times, and you know I play a lot. I'm out there alone.
Right.
It takes a certain type of guy to be out there 4 hours by yourself every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree. But yeah, that mental battle and just you really just trying to up yourself, you know, and really, if you that type of person in life. Right, it's going to carry over. Right,
a lot of life lessons in golf.
Exactly.
I agree.
If you're not a stagnant person, you always want to level up. Golf definitely could be for you because you know it just works well. So you know, I want to kind of keep this short. I just want to really know something. Like, what's some of your goals? I mean, you already got a hole in one. You're already getting better. I know you're traveling playing golf, but what's some personal goals?
I think so. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Right now, I think my handicap is like a 27, right? So me personally, I count the 18 birdies handicap more than I count my Ginn, only because Ginn doesn't have JC Melrose, and I'm at JC Melrose every day. So right now I'm at 27. My goal was to be at 24 by the end of the summer. Mm-hmm. I got about 4 days left. It ain't looking good.
4 days.
But I feel like when I break 20, when I get out of the 20s and get into the 19 under, I would feel like a legit golfer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I can come to the course and I'm at 95 and I'm just like, all right, it's a regular ass day.
Yeah.
Right now I get 95. I'm probably going to have to celebrate.
I feel
like once I get out of the 20s, I would be what I consider a legit golf. And one thing I do want to say before we cut this thing off is golf really is about perspective, right?
Yeah.
Whereas there's some people who, if I go out, I shoot 98, 99, I'm cool. There's some people that commit suicide. You know what I mean? So as long as you keep a perspective of what's good for you, and you're not watching anybody else or counting anybody else's scores or comparing yourself to somebody else, you'll always have a good time with golf.
Yeah, that's definitely key. You got to play your game, stay in your lane, and really just focus on what you're doing, because what other people are doing has nothing to do with you. And 9 out of 10, no one even cares what you're doing.
That's a fact.
Because everyone is locked in with what they're doing.
That's a fact.
So, you know, hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time and jumping on this podcast. Look, man, I'm definitely going to have you back on in the future. We plan on doing some on-course things. And
oh, yeah, we definitely out there today. Me and Bill, we going out. We got a 3 o'clock tee time today at White Clay.
White Clay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, White Clay is good.
So give me the rundown right now. I know you said you've been there.
Yeah.
And it didn't sound like you wanted to go back.
All right. So you got your round early, later on at White Clay. This is my rundown. On the day that we went, it was smoking hot. It was smoking hot out there. There was no cart girl. It was cart path only. For those of you who don't know what that is, that means that when you're driving in your golf cart, you can't drive on the grass. You have to stay on the cart. So if the cart path is on the left side and you hit the ball on the far right side, you have to park it on the left and then walk about a football field length across to go find your ball, hit it, then walk another football field back to your cart, and then drive it, then do it again. And you're doing it over and over again unless you make it to the green in 2. So on a hot day with no refreshments, it's kind of tough. And there's no turn. So after the 9th hole, you're not at the clubhouse. So you can't go in and take, go to the bathroom or grab a glizzy for you hot dog lovers. You can't even do that. So I don't know, but it's beautiful. They got a beautiful practicing facility, great sand bunkers, the chipping area, the range balls are complimentary. So, it kind of weighs itself out a little bit. But I wish you luck today. That's all I'm going to say. I wish you luck today. It's a lot of hazards all over the place. You got to lay up a lot. It takes your driver out of your hand, which is a good thing for me sometimes. So, yeah, man. So good luck today, and you got to let me know how this round goes next time I have you on.
All right, we'll do. So we're a part of AGS, right? So it's a golf league where you get 7 days to play a course. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're going down on white clay. So it's also handicap based. So with my handicap, if I just score 100, I'll probably win.
Right.
So my goal is to go out here and score 100. I'm gonna predict I go 99. So we'll let you know how it goes.
99. You guys heard it first. He's trying to break 99 today. Again, thank you for joining us on the Swank Golf Podcast. This was Tramaine Johnson, and we'll see you